Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me Tarron Jackson, who is an edge rusher out of Coastal Carolina. How you doing, sir?
Oh man, I'm doing amazing, man. How you doing?
Uh, crazy these days, man. A lot going on. The draft is so quickly approaching. My schedule is booked up. I mean, it's wild. So I love actually getting a chance to sit down with you. You're one of the very few All-Americans that I was able to book up, which I thought was great. So hey, let's get to it, man. Let's tell everybody about you a little bit. Tell me first where you're from.
So I'm from New Wellington, South Carolina, but most of the time I just tell people I'm from Aiken. Most people
All
don't
right.
even know what New Wellington is, but a small town.
Nope.
Very small town, man.
Gotcha. And walk me through your journey a little bit. Can you give me like a brief summary of your career so far?
Oh yeah, man. So I actually started playing football a little late. Started my sophomore year in high school. Had opportunity to be around a great group of guys, man. Had a lot of leaders on the team. Went to the state championship actually my first year playing that my sophomore year. Then I got opportunity to play and go to the state championship again my senior year. That's kind of when I kind of was getting the college buzz, and that's when I committed to Coastal. Uh, really love Coastal, man. They had an amazing culture there, amazing brotherhood. They was transitioning in Division 1A. And I was like, man, it's the perfect opportunity. Went to Coastal my first couple years. Kind of had a couple injuries my first 2 years. And then my redshirt sophomore year, that's when I really, took a step up. Got strength and conditioning player of the year. Got my first all-conference honors, and just tried to build off of that. The next year I got my first all-conference. And then, this past year, we had a great season.
Yeah, you had a darn good season for sure. I mean, you kind of you became this trending topic. Like, who are the Chanticleers? I mean, nobody really gave you a chance, man. I mean, and that's just kind of the thing. I mean, no one gave you guys a chance. Everybody overlooked you, and everybody suffered for it too because they overlooked you. Um, uh, so yeah. What do you think is like the best, part of your game that you bring to the table as a prospect? I mean, obviously, a lot of people know who you are, from having that great season, being named an All-American. What's maybe one of your better attributes as a player?
I'll have to say, my relentless effort, coming off the ball as hard as I can, um, being violent with my hands, striking as hard as I can, and moving defenders, and my footwork.
Cool. Obviously, everybody they were able to see that because you and several of your other teammates really balled out this past season. Talk to me about this. Talk to me about this season, man. I mean, how'd you guys get to where you're going 11-1, like really dominating the competition? Because quite honestly, like no one gave you guys any chance like before this season. I mean, how'd you guys put everything together?
Oh man, this year was a crazy year, man. But for you to see, kind of the success this year, man, you had to look at the previous year. We lost about 7 games by 1 point, 3 point, and one score less. And we really went into that offseason, with a chip on our shoulders. We had a lot of guys that got injured, a lot of key players in the beginning of the season. The year before last year, man, and it really hurt us that season. Then we got a opportunity to get some new players going into this year. We got a wide receiver, Cameron Brown. We got Jeffrey Gunter back on the opposite side of me. We got a corner, the Jordan Strong. And it kind of just really the pieces that we needed going into the offseason, man. Guys just were accountable. We made sure everybody was doing what they needed to do. The captains on the team, we held meetings all the time, made sure people was sending in their workouts, make sure everybody was doing what they need to do. And then once we got here in the summer, man, everybody was locked in, man. everybody, was making sure guys wasn't going to parties, guys wasn't, outside of our bubble. And we just went from there, man. I honestly feel like this COVID thing brought us closer together, made us more accountable.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's situation was a little different with this pandemic because I mean everything had to be adjusted, because you're going out there. Practices probably had to be done a little different, but from what you're saying is like having that pandemic, really brought you guys a whole lot closer because quite honestly, like you can't really expand, so much
Yeah.
so like your bubble because otherwise you would have to quarantine and maybe even suffer the risk of sitting out a game, which
Yeah.
you definitely didn't want that to happen for sure. I mean, obviously as those wins started to, come in, I mean, you guys were just gaining so much momentum as the season moved on. But one of the cool things, man, again, a lot of guys coming back, still playing for you guys next season. So I think that you guys can still be in the running for a championship as well next season. So I mean,
they will be in the
obviously
running.
you're not going to be there, but I mean, there's a lot of guys that are going to step up, and a lot of guys that I know are still coming back and really, going to put forth their best effort for sure. So I love it. Love being able to really learn who the Chanticleers were this past season, man. It was a whole lot of fun for sure. So
sir.
So you ended up actually getting an invite and going out to the Senior Bowl. How was all that for you? Did you get that call from Jim Nagy himself?
Oh, I found out at a practice. My coach, he read out my invitation and everything. It's really a blessing to get an opportunity to go to the Senior Bowl, man, especially with everything going on. A lot of other all-star games getting canceled, man. It really was a great opportunity. It gave me the opportunity to meet with, all 32 teams, kind of give teams, the opportunity to put a face to a name. And it really was just a great experience, man. I hit a little adversity. They put me in a different position at D tackle. So, going in, I just came in with a mindset that, I was going to show all the teams that I was a coachable player, in any position that you put me in, that I'll improve and, eventually I'll be successful at it. So, just learned a lot of the Senior Bowl, man. A lot about D tackle. I learned a lot about double teams, different type of double teams, how you take them on. So, it was definitely a great experience.
So wait, they put you at D tackle at like 260 pounds? Like,
yeah,
what? That's wild. And I mean, quite honestly, like that. I don't think that's going to be your position in the league. I mean, personally, I'd probably end up putting you as like, a pass rusher on the outside in a 3-4. Like that makes a whole lot more sense to me. I mean, I don't know. Is that how you see yourself projecting to the next level? I mean, does that sound fair?
Yes, sir. I see myself, as outside linebacker, defensive end. But like at the end of the day, man, they want to see versatility. So, I just wanted to show that, if I had to go in on a package or anything, that I could do that. So, yeah.
Great. And then you had your pro day. How'd you think about your pro day, man? You think you did well? I mean, were you able to go out and show scouts, what they needed to know?
Yeah, I think I had a pretty solid pro day. Definitely could have had some improvements in certain areas, but I think overall it was a pretty solid day. I got pretty much all solid feedback. Positive feedback from the scouts. They said I looked very fluent in my movements and stuff and position drills and stuff. So, I think I had a good day.
Great. So, obviously we're checking off all these boxes, man. I mean, had a great season, had an All-American season. Got that invite from the Senior Bowl, so these are checked off. Pro day, you show guys, everything. So everything is good, man. I mean, everybody's got to know, you're definitely one of those names that need to be called on draft day. Let's step back just a little bit, learn a little bit more about you as a student of the game. So give me an example of you as a student of the game. Like, how do you break down film? And maybe even give me an example of how that played out in a game time situation.
Oh, man. So I feel like my preparation for the game has really elevated. I have to just give a little credit, stop and give a little credit to, my coaching staff that I have now. My defensive coach, Skylar McGee, and Coach Jamie Chadwell, man. They really elevated me in the preparation standpoint. Coming in, I really didn't know a lot about, what to watch in film, man. But, now when I'm watching film, I really know how to, detect stuff. I'm watching film, in the beginning when I first watched film, I really not even looking at the plays and stuff. I'm just trying to see, personnel groupings and everything, looking at what plays they're running on 1 downs and everything like that, just trying to get the probability of them running certain plays on certain downs. Then I look for different keys, man, looking at that wide off, if he's coming across split zones, insert, stuff like that, looking at the offensive linemen, if they are giving off their keys, if they're leaning back a little bit, even sometimes, offensive linemen, especially the ones that have strike helmets and stuff, you can see when they turn their head if they're going down, stuff like that. So, just looking at all those different keys, man, my defensive line coach definitely has elevated me in that standpoint. So
Great.
kudos
Well,
to them.
Definitely, as you progress into the pros, I mean, it's great that you've had, some success in trying to break those things down and really like know what you're looking for in your opponent. And those guys they're not pros for nothing. So I mean, it's going to be it's going to be a battle for sure when you're able to lock up with those guys. Yeah, definitely magical season, 2020. What was maybe your most memorable game or moment from this past season, or just your career overall? Can you share that?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I got a lot of memorable moments, I feel like, man. But just to go off this season, man, because I talked to the guys, man. I said, really amazing way to go out. So I thank all the guys for that season, man. But I'm gonna have to just say 3 key moments during the season, man. The first one was definitely when we beat Louisiana Lafayette, at their house at the beginning of the season, and then when we beat App State. That was a great game, man. Being at App State, was always, the top of the conference for many years. And then the BYU game, to have that game on such short notice, to have everybody so much doubt outside of the team, man, and we really don't look at that stuff, man. But for us to go in, and prove that we, prove ourselves right, that was a big game.
Yeah, I mean, you had 2 teams there, BYU and yourself. I think at the time, both of you guys were undefeated. And so you have these 2 group of 5 like guys who were, they were destined to match up against one another. I mean, whether it be like during the season or like maybe even during like a bowl game. So, I mean, it was either one or the other. And, magically you guys were able to actually, get that nailed down. I mean, get that scheduled. And geez, I mean, that was one heck of a matchup. And I mean, you guys were able to really, despite not having a lot of time to prep, go out there and deliver and get that W. So great that you guys had that season and that game against BYU and all those others. Getting one over on some of the people that are typically at the top of your guys' conference. I mean, that's awesome. So a couple other questions before we kind of get into maybe some non-football stuff.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna hit you with this. If you were able to step back in time, maybe give your younger self just a little bit of advice, like back in high school. So this is to everybody who's young, maybe even still at your university coastal or the youngins back in high school. What sort of advice would you give yourself?
I think the biggest thing that I would have to give myself is, one, we just talked about it, preparation, learning how to watch film and do things like that. I was always hardworking, I've always been, that guy that's going the extra mile, from that standpoint, but really the preparation, man, and not just that, recovery. I think my first couple years in college, in high school, I didn't really have to do a lot of recovery stuff, but making sure that you're keeping your body, 100% healthy, man. So you're available. Durability is key, man. So, just make sure you're keeping your body, available. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, recovery is a big deal. I mean, I think most people, they just sleep it off or something. Like no,
Yeah.
I'm not joking. It's for real.
Yeah.
Some people try and do that, and it doesn't always work that way. So
yeah, and I mean, quite honestly, to be real, man, I didn't honestly know how to, recover when I first was in college, man, So just learn how to, what your body needs, the stretching, the mobility, the range of motion, all of that stuff, man.
Gotcha. You taking those ice baths too? I mean, are you immersing yourself into those cold waters?
Yeah, you definitely have to do the ice tubs, man. I actually have a deep hate for ice tubs, but I
I'm
definitely
sure you
make
do.
myself get into them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a wimp. Like, man, I don't know if I could handle that. But
you be good after a couple minutes, man.
yeah,
Once you get in
I'm
that
sure.
couple minutes, you good.
Yeah, I'm sure after a while you kind of get used to it. But I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, it's you just kind of have to jump in sometimes. That's just kind of how
yeah,
it is.
you do, man.
Let's get to know Tarron Jackson outside of football. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me something unique, maybe not everybody knows, or just who you are outside of football, hobbies, interests. Maybe if you got like a special, unique talent that not everybody knows. Bring us in a little bit into you and who you are.
I had to say one thing I think a lot of people, outside really don't know about me, man, is I love to cook. Growing up, man, I stayed with my grandma a lot. So, I used to always be in the kitchen with her, man, watching her cook, learning from her. So definitely love to cook, man. Grill any chance I get, all that, man.
Cool. So what's like what's your go-to dish there? Like what's your comfort food? What's your specialty, so to speak? What would I get if I were to, swing by your home real quick?
So I actually, man, I've been changing my way of cooking, man, throughout this process, trying to eat more healthy, man. So I haven't cooked what I love to cook in a long time, man. But, whenever I get the opportunity, to binge eat a little bit, I'm definitely going to have to make some, ribs, man, macaroni and baked beans. That's like my favorite food. So
Definitely. So some ribs and all that good stuff that we know isn't all that good for us, but damn it, man, like I'm gonna eat it because
yeah,
it
man,
tastes good. I mean,
yeah, I ain't had none in months.
hey man,
but...
hey, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out with a bang, man. Like I want to live my life. So, I, it'll be some salty meat somewhere that'll probably put me in the grave. So, but cool. Anything else about you that you want to share? I mean, again, any sort of hobbies or something that people need to know about you that you're into?
Honestly, man, cooking. Like when I say I cook, like anything, man. I honestly sometimes just try different stuff out, with food and everything. I'm not a big game guy. I don't have a game, so football, school. It used to be just
Football
football,
is your
school, and when I
game.
get my
So
free, yes, sir. When I get my free time, I used to just, cook me up something.
gotcha. What'd you get your degree in? I mean, are you still working towards that, or have you gotten your degree yet?
Yeah, I've got my degree. So I got my degree May 2020 in applied mathematics.
That's interesting. Applied mathematics. You don't get too many mathematics guys, out here playing football. So maybe you'll end up being one of these stat gurus, like way down the line, like after your career is done. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to you, like, if maybe like my son needs some math homework, I'll hit you up.
Hit me
But
up, man.
cool. Hey, couple people you want to give a shout out to in this interview, some guys maybe that meant a lot to you in your journey?
Definitely, man. Starting out, man, I just gotta, really, give honor to God, man. Well, I wouldn't even be here without him. But, just gotta give thanks to my parents, man. They've been with me throughout this whole journey, man, paying money for me to do stuff, and I always make sure I'm on time and stuff. I gotta thank my high school coaches, especially Matt Hayes, man. He used to come pick me up from the house, to make sure that I was at workouts and stuff, man. And then coming into the college, man, all my position coaches. I feel like I learned something from each one of my position coaches. I've had 3 different ones, and I've learned something from each one of them, man. And all my head coach Mo for, just giving me the opportunity to come to Coastal, man. I still talk to him to this day. And then Coach Chadwell, he really feel like with his staff took me to another level. You know, I definitely got to give honor to the players, man. My whole D line, I wouldn't be able to do none of this that I did without them, man. CJ Brewer, Jeffrey Gunter that's back with me, man. Gerard and all the other guys, Sterling that I done played with, Jalen, and my linebacking core, you know, Silas and Teddy, man. Them guys, definitely without Teddy, man. He you know, used to fix me in a lot of plays, man. So they're my guys, man. So I got to give honor to all them guys, man.
Teddy's the mullet man, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. All right.
Silent City, yeah.
Hey, you know, guys, he's the guy it's his trademark. I mean, he's got to keep it. Tell him he can't cut it.
He can't cut it, man.
You can't cut it.
Coach Chad would have got a mullet too.
Hey, why not? Hey, as we begin to wrap up, I try and ask everybody the why question really quick. Can you just kind of give me your why in a nutshell, like why you play football, maybe why you started, why you play now?
Yeah, it's two big reasons that I play football, man. One big reason is family, man. Especially, you know, my mother and my dad, you know, growing up, watching them work, you know, hard, you know, struggle. You know, I just want it better for them, honestly. And then the biggest reason I feel like is my brother. You know, he passed when I was 9 years old to leukemia, and football was always something that, you know, kept us connected, man. And, you know, I kind of made a couple promises to him before he passed. So definitely football. I mean, football is my motivation is family and my brother. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it sounds as if one of those promises is going to be being drafted in the NFL, and I totally believe that that's going to happen. So, but before that happens, I want you to give your pitch to all those teams in the NFL. You know, which one of those teams is going to draft you, I don't know, but I want you to give your pitch to each and every one of them as to why they should take a chance and, you know, give you the opportunity to be a part of their team. So go for it, man. One last pitch.
I think it's simple, man. You know, I'm relentless in everything I do. You know, I'm gonna come on that field, you know, and I'm gonna earn everything. You know, a lot of these guys are so caught up in the draft and everything, but you know, I haven't honestly been looking at it, man, because I know at the end of the day, we all gonna have to get on that field. You know, you're gonna have to earn your take. You know, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to make the team. So, you know, I'm gonna be that guy that's gonna put in all the work that's necessary to make an impact.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a guy who was able to go out there this past season, really shock the world, you know, win your conference, win a ton of games, win against some great competition, go out there, you know, get a ton of sacks. I mean, going from actually back in 2019, getting like 10 sacks, and then going for 2020, where like you're now getting double teamed because everybody knows who you are. And I think as you get your opportunity, as people start to get to know you more, I mean, they know that you have that relentless effort, and that you can get to the quarterback, that you can get to the ball carrier and really make a play. So, Tarron, I wish you best of luck, man. Someone's going to take a chance on you for real, and I wish you nothing but the best moving forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, this is Tarron Jackson. He's an edge rusher out of Coastal Carolina, Chanticleer and All-American. Definitely check him out.